Hello there, short talk in the front yard with an old guy. I think you would know who that is. My name's Mike. Glad to see you here. Hey, come on in, sit down, and have a seat. Welcome all you Uber Tuber Rubers, great and small, one and all. And the faster and the slower, everyone's welcome. And there's a thing for you here to think about today. I was thinking about it as I was driving around that I did go to the Caviezel, is that how you say it? Jim Caviezel event last night here in town. And, well, I'm not here to badmouth anybody, and it was a solid presentation. The guy's a good guy. He's definitely pro-life. That's for sure. And there's this huge hit. What do you call it? And we're gonna hit you up for donations, and I've never seen anything like it. I mean, they give you this little card. Now we're looking. This guy's talking up front. Now we're looking for 2 or 3 people in this room who could possibly donate, and you can just look at the little categories on the card. $100,000. What? Donate $100,000? And went down and down and down. Finally, right at the bottom, at the very last, I think the bottom one was like maybe $500 or something like that. And anything, or maybe the cheapest was 100. I can't remember. But anyway, I said no. I'm just take a look at that card. Just stuck in my pocket. I'll think it over. Anyway, it's a pro-life group here in town, and I guess maybe they're even regional, I don't know. And they sound like they're doing good work, I guess, providing care and stuff for, I guess, I don't know if these are unwed mothers or not, but women who are contemplating abortions and are, maybe even actively seeking it. And so it's an intervention thing and a chance for people to give birth and stuff like that. So anyway, Caviezel had put on a pretty, he's a professional speaker after all, and an actor on top of that. So he put on a real good presentation, and in fact, he does a pretty decent imitation of Ronald Reagan. He ain't got it knocked, he ain't got it nailed, but he's decent. So he did a little snitch in here and a stitch there of old Ronald Reagan speeches, and I thought, well, that's interesting. And oh, by the way, today's sponsor, still waiting that ticket in the mail. Doing about 3 or 4 things today. I went down and did a water heater for a friend of mine. That finished up maybe before, like maybe 11:15, something like that. It was a real smooth installation. And then stopped, got some lunch, dropped off the water heater at a salvage place. Ran over to the bank, cashed 3 checks, deposited them. And anyway, ordered a pizza for later. And now I'm doing the watering and I'm doing the laundry. All of this so that I'll have time freed up for the New Mexico Bowl this afternoon. Now, it said 5:45 Eastern time, and I thought, well, why would you guys list that? It's being played here in Rocky Mountain time. So 3:45 our time is the kickoff up in Albuquerque, and boy, I'm guessing it's just going to be a beautiful day up there. And so we're hoping the Aggies do good, because talking about the Aggies, it's like people used to say, well, look, everyone can have a bad half century or so. Aggie football program has just been spun around, and I've never seen anything like it. So I thought maybe I should go. It's going to be kind of a once in a lifetime event, because how often is this going to happen? So anyway, it's already the 2nd bowl game in a row. Last year they went to some other bowl, like the Outer Nowhere Tumbleweed Bowl or something like that. But anyway, the Caviezel interview, not interview, it was a speech. It was a prepared speech. And he took no comments, he took no questions, he had no interaction with the audience other than speaking to them. And they were actually, the people leading him up said, if you see this guy after the show, don't go throng him, don't go bug him, don't ask for his autograph. So I was going to record the thing, and I'm glad I didn't, because it's kind of longish. And I don't know if I want that kind of content linked directly to my program. Nothing against what he had to say. It's just the thing. I walked out, I was very uneasy, and I couldn't put my finger on it. I kept thinking, well, pray about it. He's not a Protestant like me, but I don't care about that. He's a Roman Catholic, and he's a good one too, I guess. But that doesn't bother me in the least. What is it? Something's bothering me. And finally, it kind of came to me this morning about 10 o'clock, and I thought, it's sort of like this. We were talking yesterday about, maybe it was the day before, about judging, or the judgment that is coming, and that's the background. In other words, he's the bad guy, he's our problem, he's the enemy who's out to destroy us. Injustice, and the only way to get away from him, to escape God, is to be saved by him in and through the Christ of God, through the Lamb. And so Jim's a good Christian man. And so we're on a first name basis now, you see. We're both big celebrities. And that's funny. So anyhow, I thought, what is it? What is it? And finally, it kind of came to me. And you know, and everyone can be a what do you call it? Backseat quarterback or whatever it's called. Couch potato quarterback, something. Anyway, whatever they call them. And you know, everyone can improve the call, you know, but afterwards, I would have added this. But no, it's just that, today is pro-life. Well, what's it going to be tomorrow? Well, look in the skies overhead. Now, maybe I'll show you before we knock this thing off. There's a lot of really artificial-looking junk up there. They don't look like anything nature ever generated before. It's man-made junk up there, poisons. You know, the burning out of Maui, Hawaii, by the powers that be. Things like the billions of dollars that went to Iran, and then suddenly missiles appeared in October 7th. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, and you know, it's like, well, is the AI quantum link going to happen? In other words, if you have a true operating general AI at some point in the future, and it links to quantum computing, what have you got on your hands? And, you know, in other words, there's a lot of challenges around. The world's falling apart. Now, maybe it's just the American empire, but it sure feels like the world to me. But in other words, each one of these, every one of them, can become my cause, the thing I care about, the thing that I can't forget. I can't let it go. I can't negotiate. And I'm not saying negotiate for life in some kind of happy land of, oh yeah, well, abortion's okay if, that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about that. No, it's sort of like when we're dealing with so many catastrophes colliding at once. Historically, everything's coming together into this weird train wreck. Financial institutions collapsing, currencies collapsing, the atmosphere above, the ozone being eaten up. We're now getting X-rays. X-rays are coming in, and there's a ultraviolet A, B, you've heard of those, but there's an ultraviolet C. This is deadly. Stuff like this. They're poisoning the land. They're genetically modifying creaturehood itself, even mankind. I mean, the wheels are falling off all over the place. We're being run by two-bit tyrants. The Constitution has effectively been shredded. We've been sold down the river. We are not free people. They just haven't informed us of that yet. The new boss is moving in, still moving furniture around. But the old power of the US of A being the good guys, the constitutional federal representative republic, that's over, man. And everybody keeps trying to sound like, it seemed to me that Caviezel was being one of these guys, that this is going to be like a last stand war, kind of like Alamo. The Alamo, where, you know, the Texans were wildly outnumbered against Santa Anna and his people. I don't know, against thousands, against like 27 guys or 108. I don't know how many people were in the Alamo. But anyway, it was badly outnumbered. But anyway, when you think about these kind of things that are all just happening all around us, and then to say, well, this one right here, you have to set aside as the special one. And I say, well, you do need something special set aside, I'll grant you that. But if it becomes a cause, if it becomes something you can put on a pin, on a button and pin on your shirt, if it can become a bumper sticker, then I'm not really interested, to be honest with you. Because the central axiom of life is the Christ of God himself. He's the one we seek. He's our reward in person, simply to embrace and be embraced by him. He's the author of all that is. So take your wealth. He invented that too. And in other words, there's a grand power being displayed soon. The creator of heaven and earth stepping into his own world once again, this time clothed in power, might, and almighty fury. That's that F-U-R-Y. The church knows this, but she won't say it. And that's essentially, to me, that would kind of leap to the top of my list, that, you know, yeah, all this crap's coming down, all this horrible stuff's happening, and then what they're doing to children. Those people should be shot between the eyes that are doing that to little kids. And oh my gosh, and the Epstein crowd is still running around, still being in the news. They're still the big shots, right? Ooh, that's ugly, man. And so at any rate, buck up. Jesus Christ is in command. This isn't the Alamo. This isn't a last stand where if we die, freedom dies. If our cause doesn't win, civilization dies. Guess what? Civilization's going to die. And it's under judgment. That's the part they don't want to talk about. It's under judgment. And so, buck up, he wins. In other words, this isn't a defensive position of an impossible outnumbering from enemies. No. We're in the city, and the city has been invaded. The barriers are down. We're being overrun by evil spirits, and the menace that they bring with them, lies, deception, disease, murder, war, and all of the rest of their chaos and BS. The situation is that we need to concentrate on our Father, who in this very moment is actually growing his church. His kingdom is coming. It is being done here on earth. He's gathering his children, whether the enemy likes it or not. And the thing is that nothing can stop Jesus Christ. He's the offensive move. He's the one who's kicking ass and taking names. He's the one who's moving forward. But we need the eyes of faith to see it. So am I going to write Mr. Caviezel a note and tell him how to talk next time? No, nothing like that. I just wanted to say that, I don't know, if you get caught off on one of these little side wobble things, well, okay. But remember, it's only one of 50 or one of 20 at least collisions in time. We're looking at chaos up ahead, and you're speaking prophetically. When all these forces meet, they hate each other as much as they hate us. It's going to be wild. So I got to go do laundry. See, I'm doing 3 or 4 things at once now. So I'm going to turn off the water, or maybe I'll leave it on, and go get some laundry and boo, back and forth. So I do it this way, so the laundry's spinning over there, see, and I'm doing actually 3 things at once. I'm watering the grass and talking to you. Ain't I efficient? Have you a good Saturday, and go Aggies, I guess I'm supposed to say. It's probably in the contract somewhere. Now, if only I could find that button to turn this thing off. Where'd this thing go? I can't see it. Ugh. Where'd you go?